incredible. Two. DJ Sour Milk.
One. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
The hottest show.
Yeah.
Jay-Z took his time out in his illustrious life. In my mind, Jay-Z cuts his toenails. And it's $1 million.
It's $1 million toenail cut?
It's $1 million toenail cut.
You think he cuts his own toenails though?
I don't think so.
Nah, probably not.
But you know what happened? He took his time out and he said, "Did you see Belly on LA Lakers?"
Man, right.
Yo,
And y'all phone numbers changed. I couldn't get in contact with these brothers. I said to them, "Please, can I come on the show?" And they said, "N.O.R.E, I don't know." And now I'm finally here because the LA Lakers is fully clear.
Believe that.
And they did that, and we don't drink Belvedere. We only drink Ciroc.
Yeah.
Make some noise for the LA Lakers.
That's right. Thank you, N.O.R.E.
Yo,
Thank you, man. Clap
I
it
was
up.
so proud of y'all because one, the fact that Hov still he acknowledges everything hip hop.
Man.
And that is so awesome. Like to me, when you're that rich, like if I was that rich, I swear to God, I probably won't look at my own stuff.
You be like, bruh.
I'd be like, I'm over me. You know?
Yeah.
But he did for him to sit down and him because you guys show it's so important to hip hop. You still have people come up here and rhyme.
Bro, thank you, man.
And if I wasn't drunk, I would probably rhyme too. But I wanted to make y'all show look good.
What you been sipping on?
I started with mimosa in the morning.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, so what time does this start for you?
I was up at 7. I got a very sad story. One of my closest friends yesterday, or the day before yesterday, in the middle of me interviewing Busta Rhymes for my Drink Champs podcast, one of my closest friends had killed himself.
No way, man.
I said it wrong. Not one of my closest friends. One of my closest friends that I grew up, that's still alive. He had killed himself in the middle of the Busta Rhymes interview. So I look at my phone and I'm like, holy moly, guacamole. So I just.
You get this news while you're interviewing.
As I'm interviewing Busta Rhymes, it's like the exact moment. So, you know, I'm a man, so I'm trying to be tough. You know, I'm sitting there. And it wasn't until my mother actually called, like my wife. My mother called my wife and was like, "Yo, watch him, because he's not okay. Because this is a person I really grew up with, but he's the toughest dude I ever knew." So as I'm flying to L.A., I'm crying, all right. And as I'm crying, I hear him saying, "You sucker." I hear him say that to me, "You sucker." That's not what I wanted. And I was just like, yo, you know what? I wiped my tears and I said, yo. So as soon as I landed, to get back to you, because I know you asked me what was I sipping, and I went to a weird place.
Yeah.
It's all good. We're here for this, though.
So so I started off with mimosa. We had chicken sausages.
Mimosa's a weird place for you?
No. I'm telling you how I built up to where I went.
Okay.
So we have mimosa, and I don't like mimosa with orange juice. I go pineapple.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
I go piña. Right? So then after that, then I had the Ciroc straight, which is the best premium vodka in the world, in case you guys don't know.
Talk to him. Talk to
So-
him.
What flavor? What flavor is there?
No, I only do Blue Dot. I only do regular.
Oh, you don't do no flavors?
I can't do flavors
Okay.
because I'm a real drinker.
Yeah.
So I hit that with seltzer water because you have to hit, when you hit vodka, you have to hit it with seltzer water, so you have to taste the vodka.
That Ciroc is the best, though. No,
The blue one.
It's the best.
I feel like I should wear your glasses at this point. I feel like at this point you should have just passed me your glasses and we should have just took it from there. Because he's absolutely correct.
Thank you.
The Blue Dot with the seltzer water, take a little bit of lemon, and then we drank rosé for no reason. And I wanted to celebrate my friend. You know, I'm sorry to be like a little downer, but I wanted to celebrate my friend because that's exactly how he didn't want me to be crying. He didn't want me to do anything that I did. The exact opposite of how I reacted was exact opposite of how he wanted me to react. So I wanted to celebrate him, you know what I'm saying? So I've been drinking all day. And I've been still handling my business because that's exactly what he would have told me. He would have told me, what you stop your day for? Like, he's one of them tough guys. Like he banged on cereal. Like he's one of those guys.
Wait, he banged on what?
He will gang bang on cereal. You don't remember what movie that was from? So you gang banging in the morning? You can't be gang banging in cereal. Like he was that type of guy. So, I want to honor my people, and that's what everything we doing. Like even from,
Definitely rest in power to your brother.
yeah, rest in power, Steph Bauer. If you ever heard Body in the Trunk, I say Steph told me buck him because he was that type of guy. And then I say Steph Bauer, me and you and L control the hour, like on the War Report. So that's who it is.
Speaking of War Report,
Man, let's just start right there.
Oh, let's go there. Are we ready?
We are. I've
we
never
ready?
been so ready.
I'm ready.
20 years.
20
years. Timeless. Classic. Perfection, N.O.R.E.
I'm not gonna stop you. Keep going.
Amazing. A soundtrack to
Yeah,
probably both of our
exactly,
youth.
and especially I think that says a lot. We're both LA kids.
Yeah, man.
I love that.
So the fact that we even knew what the War Report was back. I mean, did you hop on it right when it dropped? Because
Yeah.
I was a little late on it.
Okay.
A
A lot of people were.
Yeah, I think I came across it probably like 2000 maybe.
It dropped in '97. You was 3 years late. Thank you.
Yeah.
Continue.
But I was still young.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, continue.
I feel like for you were a little bit younger.
Yeah.
You had to go back and do a little bit of.
Exactly. I came across it in high school, so I think that's a pretty good time.
Let me big up my boy Tito. Tito, 5'7", he's from LA, and it was different to hear people play our music in LA, just as is.
Yeah.
It was different to hear people play NWA in New York.
Right. Right.
So when I remember N.O.R.E. album. I'm so sorry, I'm skipping.
All good.
But N.O.R.E. album, I did so good other than L.A. So they told me, it's the Source Awards. This is the Source Awards that everybody got robbed.
Yeah.
Like everybody, even Martin Lawrence. They even robbed Martin Lawrence. You guys are bad out here. Yeah. When you robbing Martin, you just have no respect.
Yo, for real. That's
they robbed Martin, man.
No
This is Martin. Like, yo, come
You
on.
run up and you just
Yeah.
start laughing, you would think,
So-
and be in a good mood when you.
So I can't. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, not
So
to get sidetracked. Is that the best sitcom of all time?
I think it is.
I think so, too.
I would say it is.
But
right.
keep going with the story.
So and I just remember being out here, and I had like everywhere else but the West Coast, my album had did great, but California. So there's like, you didn't spend time in California. So I was like, all right, cool. So the Source Awards happen, everybody gets robbed, and then they say you have to.
These Source Awards. Are we
This
talking
is-
about the one like in
This
New
is
York?
no, this is out here.
Oh, this is
the
Source
one out
Awards.
here.
Okay, I
This is
thought
when
it
it
was
came out here, and we realized that California is just not Hollywood.
Right.
There's
right.
other places,
Yeah.
Show.
and they come out.
Yeah.
This is when we all realize that.
Right.
So where I'm out here, they say you gotta stay. And I remember being just so scared to be out here. Like I was just scared because God bless the dead, Biggie,
This is
the
after
Tupac.
Biggie.
This is Biggie, the Tupac thing. And I remember people coming up to me and say, "Yo, dude, the War Report is our thing." And I didn't believe them,
Bro.
because if you listen to the War Report, we never shouted out any place outside of Queens.
Yeah.
We didn't even shout out Brooklyn.
Right.
Like we just was on some Queensbridge and Left Rack. So I never thought that the world would gravitate to this and would actually listen to this music that we just made for our block. But that lets you know, anytime you make something that's just for some people, other people will
We'll check it out.
check it out and track.
Especially if it's that organic and the pictures are that vivid. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was the thing, like the gram wasn't popping.
Nope, no Twitter,
So
no Facebook.
This was like for me, and I have to say this to you with you sitting here.
Thank you.
To me, this
I don't
was,
even know what you're saying, but I said
yeah,
thank you
already
already.
saying thank you. I was like, bro, you don't know me too well.
It gotta be something good. Come on, please.
No,
come on.
but the truth
Go ahead.
is,
Uh-huh.
this was like a movie for me. Like this was
Right.
my window to New York.
to New York. Thank
know
you.
what I mean?
Oh, wow.
And it was so dope to like have these pictures in my head. I truly fell in, like I was in love with hip hop.
Right.
But that took me across the country without literally going across the country.
Wow, thank you.
And it was just like I said, the soundtrack, man.
It's just like I was telling people earlier. My first time hearing Straight Outta Compton, I thought Compton was a jail.
Crazy.
Like, I didn't think, like, when they said, Straight Outta Compton, crazy, like, Ice Cube.
Yeah.
I said, damn, I don't never want to go to that jail.
Bruh.
That's rough. And then I found out that it was a city.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I never want to go
Yeah,
to
I'm
that
not going
city.
to that
That's just too rough for me. Like, and then I realized that that's what music is. Music could. I actually came to Compton before I ever went to Compton through the
course,
music.
yeah, for sure.
And then music meant more in the 90s and the 80s because you didn't have visuals.
Yeah,
you was lucky to have video music box. You was lucky to have the box. You was lucky to have certain things because you just heard the music. You never really seen the faces. Mm-hmm. So when we first seen California and people had Jerry curls and guns, it was different for us. It was like, because Jerry curls wasn't popping on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But guns was.
Yeah.
So they had Jerry curls and guns, and we were like, holy moly guacamole. These guys on the West Coast is different. So for us to be, for me to come to California, right, and people to request, yo, do LA.
Man.
And me being like, you setting me up, right?
You know what that is,
And
right?
then I did LA, because you know, the original LA, we wasn't dissing LA at all.
Nah, it was what? Just more of like just putting your flag in the ground?
Yeah, because they said New York. So
Right.
we just recently just responded.
Yeah.
That's why if you notice, nobody's verse is saying anything disrespectful
No.
to LA, the West Coast, nothing. Look, only person that verse was Prodigy. If he said NYC, you and I verse supremacy, Havoc and P Queens, nigga. So it seemed to be mega. Got word back from Noreaga, JFK on our way to LA. He never said JFK with a gun to LA, but he took his verse off. That's why if you see the video, his verse is not on there. He's only on the hook. Because we didn't know if Dog Pound was actually dissing New York. We didn't know. But what happened was they shot the video in New York. Something happened, and then they kicked down the buildings. So that's why our video depicted that later. But if you notice, we just threw out the record the same time as them. And for us, that's what I'm saying. To bring it back 360, for me to be out here in LA, and I'm thinking about moving to LA.
At that point, or you're
No,
saying
right now.
Oh,
right
you
now.
gotta be out here.
right now. So much. Yeah, you got the money out here.
There's a lot of opportunities
You got
for
the
you
money.
out here, bro.
And I'm actually thinking about moving to LA. It just lets you see how hip hop has grown up. Like with Jay-Z with the 444 album. I know we bigged them up earlier. But just look at what he's talking about. Like hip hop should support hip hop. Like if I have a tequila company, why would we drink Patron? I don't have a tequila company, by the way.
Yeah.
But if I did, I would expect you guys to support that. If you guys had a vodka company, you should expect me to support that. Yeah. That's why if you look at Drink Champs, I keep rapper liquor on my board all day. You know what I'm saying? Because I just want to support our own. And it's not about me getting a check for it. It's about me representing the culture.
Exactly.
See, if you dedicated your life to hip hop and you gave 20 years to hip hop and you get sick, it shouldn't be the responsibility of your family. It shouldn't be the responsibility of even power. Hip hop should step up.
Yeah.
You dedicated your whole life to hip hop. Why does your mother have to bear that bill? Why does even your employment have to bear that bill? Because your employment is getting it from hip hop.
Yeah.
So that's what the whole Drink Champs is, like setting up a union. I don't want Grandmaster Flash or, Be Legit or anybody that dedicated their life to hip hop to have to depend on their family.
Yeah.
Hip hop should be their first family.
That handles it.
Hip hop should be God.
Man, I always.
I'm sorry, I
feel-
got deep. I'm so sorry.
No. That's
I'm so sorry.
that's good. That's good. Pause, by the way.
Pause.
Free thought.
Yes. Speaking of pause, did you guys almost, correct me if I'm wrong, started the no homo wave
Nah.
without wait
Okay.
on Stick You?
Yeah.
I believe Capone says something about check the crack of his ass. You
On
say
some homo shit?
Nah,
Nah,
kid, we on some real
shit.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, you're right. But I don't never have to claim something that's not mine. We did say that. You're absolutely correct, and that's 1996. The album came out in 1997 because back then you had to record the album a year before. But the phrase "no homo" and pause came from Dipset.
Yeah.
I cannot.
No. Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying that
you're right. We said it in '96, but we didn't finesse it like they finessed it. They finessed it like they pause. Yeah. And they put a pause on the pause. Yeah. They was like pause. And there was a pause on the pause. And so I gotta, big up to Cameron, big up to Freaky Zeke, big up to Jim Jones, big up to Joel Santana. So I would never
take credit for that.
Yeah, take credit. Yeah. They actually was the first people saying that. So I got to big up Dipset.
And what stands out to you most, man? What's your favorite war report story? From back then.
Well,
is there one in particular that stands out, or
yeah,
I'm sure there's.
Of course there is. The one that particularly stands out to me was, I had a record on the war report called "I'm Leaving." Mm-hmm. That's N.O.R.E. know this and N.O.R.E. know that. But N.O.R.E. know that. Right. Why? Because and what happened was that rhyme was wrote to "Don't let it go to your head now." Doom, 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 doom.
The Brand Nubian?
Before Brand Nubian used it. So I remember just Capone coming to the studio and was like, "Yo, that's dope." And I'm like, "Word." And then I remember Trash coming to the studio and saying, "We don't sample records like Puff Daddy. We're not on no Puff Daddy things." And I didn't know. He said, "We sample like Havoc. We don't sample like Puff."
Who's on the album, by the way, right?
Havoc is definitely on the album. And I remember me just being heartbroken because Capone was like, "Word." Like Capone agreed with him. He just told me he was hot. and then he agreed with him. And I remember Nas coming to the studio and he did a record called "Music Make These Thugs Calm Down." And what happened was, for whatever reason, Nas didn't clear the record. So when he didn't clear the record, he told me, he said, "Yo, I'm going to fly you to Miami, and I'm going to put you on this album called The Firm." Nobody had announced The Firm at this time, nothing. That Miami trip happened, and I never got the call. So I'm baking like a biscuit. I'm definitely a lemon head. I'm a lemon head out there, right? And then all of a sudden, he calls me, he says, "Come to L.A." Well, Jungle called me. Big up to Jungle, Nas' brother. He said, "Come to L.A." They never tell me that it's Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
So I walk in the studio, and Dre goes, "You Noreaga?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Rhyme to this." I'm talking about this. He didn't even tell me hi. Like, I just walked in. He was like, "Rhyme to this." I said, "Holy moly, bro." So he said, "You got something?" And I said, "Yeah."
Stay ready.
I was not. But I went in, and the only thing I could think of is this record that Trash and Capone just told me, it's not really that good. And I spit, "N.O.R.E. know this, N.O.R.E. know that." Wow. Yo, but N.O.R.E. know that. Why? Because N.O.R.E. bucked that. I could make you famous. Throwing gang signs like a sign language. That's the only reason why I used that rhyme. Because I figured Dr. Dre is from L.A., and I just said throwing gang signs like a sign language.
Yeah.
And he loved it. He was like, "That's it."
Let's go.
He was like, "That's it." Now this is Dr. Dre. Now he coached. That's why that's probably like my best vocal I ever.
Because of that Dre.
He's incredible. And I don't think he even made the beat. I just think he just recorded it.
Where do you rank him in the production?
Well, I rank Pharrell number one. That's because of my experience with Pharrell. That's because of me seeing him make magic in front of me.
We got to talk about that.
I've only been in Dre's presence probably once and a half.
Just as a fan of hip hop, though.
But as a fan of hip hop, I still rank Pharrell number one.
Yeah.
Because of me seeing him make that magic. Like, for
not
real.
Not once, not twice.
20 years worth of magic making.
Yeah.
More than that.
Magic. I'm talking about me personally.
Oh, yeah.
Magic making. Now, Dr. Dre is probably the best sequence producer, meaning your record would never come out with Dr. Dre unless you sound A1 perfect, which is ill for an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. I'm going to throw that out there. Like, I slur.
Since that, even back then?
No, I wasn't an alcoholic then. I can never make a record with Dre right now. He'll kick me out the studio. Get the fuck out of here, N.O.R.E. You gotta go. I'm sorry, I could curse, right? Because you listen to Primo.
Yeah,
All right,
of course.
cool. Yeah, he'll kick me out right now. Like, yeah. But top three. You want me to give you top three?
Yeah.
I would say Pharrell, Dre, and I would have to go with Puff Daddy. I had to go with Puff Daddy because his energy, and it's not even about him pressing buttons. You just got to see, like Swiss as well. Swiss has this thing about him where Swiss could just be in the studio and he'd be like.
What about strictly beat making?
Strictly,
Like where would you rank the top 3 beat makers?
it would still be the same order. It would be Pharrell, it would be Dre, and then it would be Swiss.
Preem doesn't get.
No, Preem is my second top 3.
Okay.
Preem, Pete Rock, and Dilla.
Yeah.
And Dilla, like those. That's see you when you make an album, you got to make singles, and then you got to make what Leo Combs calls the underbelly. You always have to protect the underbelly. That's what Leo Combs says. And the underbelly is always going to be Premier, Easy LP, Pete Rock, Buck Wild, Dilla, damn, and I can't think of others, but that's high tech.
Yeah.
That's always going to be the underbelly. The underbelly, like the thing that you don't want to play on radio. You purposely make.
Yeah, just for the
Your core.
Yeah, just for the core artists, and those guys, they're phenomenal with it. There's nobody comparable to them. Q-Tips too. Like Q-Tip is also one of the you know whose album I really enjoy? Wyclef right now. I don't know if y'all listen to the Carnival 3, but you gotta go listen to it because it's so musical. I was on a yacht. I'm not flossing on y'all, but I was on a yacht with this guy.
I've never been on a yacht, by the way, but keep going.
Yeah, it had 8 bedrooms. I only saw one.
Oh, that sucks.
It was so beautiful. Like, it was just, and he played this album, and I'm like, this is like musical. Like, he's like the man version of Rihanna. It got awkward? Did I get awkward on y'all?
Yeah, just pictured it.
But, you know, what I'm saying is, you know how Rihanna is just so musical.
Yeah.
Like, she's so worldwide. She's so global. Like, I don't think one race could claim Rihanna. Like, every race could say, I got something to do with Rihanna.
Yeah.
Because of how global her music is. And Wyclef, that Carnival 3 is like that. I'm sorry, I got a little awkward.
We're gonna check it.
All right, yeah, go get it.
Hopefully, I don't know if it'll be on a yacht, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
not.
Yeah,
I'm sure the vibe is a little different on a yacht.
on that 8-bedroom yacht.
yeah, it's beautiful, man.
It might be
It's
different.
it just smelled like the St. Regis. When you walk through, it's just like St. Regis.
So don't listen to it in a Toyota Corolla.
I don't think so.
Nah.
Not a Prius neither. Stay away from the Prius.
Okay.
Stay away from the Prius. You got to be in a truck, maybe a Suburban, something like that.
Yeah.
And you got to have pretty people around you.
Okay.
You got to have pretty people around you because you have your ugly friend that you cool with.
Yeah.
That you know you just have to be cool with him because that's your friend. You gotta tell him not
rid of
today.
him.
Not
Okay.
today. You gotta tell him to go around the corner and go get a Swisher Sweet. This is what you gotta do. This is what
Yo,
you,
and you know, you said people keep asking me when we gonna do a joint with Premier.
yeah.
What took so long?
Oh.
Because I've heard the Primo stories to where it's like it's impossible to get
Get him
a beat
like
from
locked
him.
in.
It is.
So had you been trying for like ever?
I think we even paid him. And the thing about Premier is I never ever got a Premier beat tape. Premier has to look at you in your eyes. He has to make it for you then. Do you know the session that we had with Invincible? I wanted to kill him 5 times. Because he played the illest beat in the world. He'd be like, I don't like the snare. And he erases it. Yo, buddy, don't do that. And then he does it again. He goes, the bass line sucks. And then he just erases it.
He'll just start from scratch.
I got the whole rhyme written. I'm sitting there. And that's how he is. And I started to notice that that's his genius.
Right.
Is he can make something that's close to perfection, But if it's not perfection, he'll just get rid of it. But I had never seen a producer do that at that time. I always seen him save it and say, I'll go back to it. And Primo was like, that's not y'all. I got to make something perfect for CNN. I made y'all wait so long. Right. And it was until the last end. And he played Invincible. And then he looked, and then he seen, because he judged, he actually made the beat to my rhyme. So I had the bars ready. And then I said, well, Melvin Flint dropped. My whole colossal stopped. I can't believe I messed up and made a half-ass album. My excuse is, my pops just died, and I ain't want to make music. My pops just died. My fans stuck with me. My shit still went gold. I got to have it just to... And he was like... And he made because I had wrote the rhyme to the 4 other beats that he was rhyming. And he said, I got it. He said, relax. And I couldn't complain. Man. But it was the most amazing, one of the most amazing moments in hip hop. I went to the bathroom, a rat jumped over my foot. You ever been to D&D Studios? No. It's horrible.
Really?
It was filthy.
A rat jumped over your foot?
A rat jumped over my foot.
Is that something you get like used to in New York where rats just don't affect you, or did it fuck you up a little bit?
No, you're used to it in New York. It's just like I remember I used to have a studio, and this is before I met my wife. I had a studio in Manhattan on 32nd Street, right? Well, I did meet her after I had the studio, but not then, right? And I remember just inviting girls to the studio, and they'll just come chill, and then the rats will just come out. They just embarrass us. No, it was mice. It was mice. Excuse me. It wasn't rats. Excuse me. Rats is outside. It was mice, and we knew they were there. Yeah. But me and the mice had like a understanding. Yeah. Like, yo, like, listen, after 12 is y'all time. Yeah. But they would just come out at 7 o'clock.
See, I don't think I'd ever be. I'm such a bitch when it comes to any type of rodent.
Hell no, I can't get used to that. Yeah. I don't know if I can get used to that.
It's a New York thing. It's 100% a New York thing. The other day, I'm just sitting around, and the security guard, I'm at the Park of Meridian, and the security guard goes, yeah, I can't believe these people, they see mice and they run. And I say, hey, listen, man, if you're not from New York, it's not a normal thing. It's not a, you can't be just dissing these people because they see a rat and they run. Yeah. It's like I can't. I said, yo, you can't. And then he's just like, all right, cool. And I said, you gotta travel more. It's not a normal thing to see a rat and just chill. Man. I'm sorry. Okay.
Let's go to the N.O.R.E. album, man.
My favorite album I ever made. My favorite year I ever lived. 2018 will be 20 years of the N.O.R.E. album, and it was a time where when the War Report came out, I was still selling drugs. I was still on the block. I didn't know how to book a show. I didn't know how to host a party. I didn't know how to do nothing. But I did this one record on the Firm album called I'm Leaving, which Dr. Dre helped engineer, and it blew my solo career up. I didn't even know I had a solo career. It's just my partner got arrested. He got incarcerated. So N.O.R.E. was my time to show people that I'm black, I'm Puerto Rican, and you never had a person like this before in your life. And I'm gonna give you the first Latino black. Because I'm not black and I'm not Latino. I'm black Latino. I could never claim one side.
Right.
When I was in jail and the black people played basketball, I played basketball. And when the Latinos played handball, I was there as well. Right. I am not one. And this was my time because contrary to popular belief, like my man just said, Sour Milk, he said he caught on to the War Report 3 years later. Right. So contrary to popular belief, everybody say this is an instant classic. They're lying. I lived this.
You're saying the War Report?
No, I'm saying the War Report was an instant classic. It wasn't received as an instant classic.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It was word of mouth back then. So you actually had to have somebody say, "Yo, you heard that Capone Noreaga stuff?"
Exactly.
You just couldn't download. You couldn't stream. So I was almost offended, and I was just like, "Yo,
You had a point to prove.
I wanted a point to prove."
Hell yeah.
And I went in and bumped into this guy. His chains was mad tight. It was like this. And he said to me, "N.O.R.E, nobody listens to me. But the one artist that listens to me is going to get a #1 record."
I already know where this is going.
Yeah, I know too.
I already
As soon
know
as you said
where
the
this is going.
chains was like this.
And I said, "Yeah." And he gave me 2 beats. They were phenomenal.
Bro.
But he said, "This third beat, I don't want you to listen to till you land in Miami. And I'm the hot guy. He's not hot. I'm the hot guy." I could have been like, "What you say?" But I said, you know what? I always listen to producers. I don't know why. I always just listen to producers. I shut up. That's the one people who can shut me up. Right now, you can't shut me up.
Yeah.
But if you do a beat, I'm going to shut the fuck up.
Okay.
All right? You do a beat, I'm shutting up.
Okay.
So I landed in Miami, and it's the first time I ever heard a producer make a beat for me. Like when he said Manuel Noreaga, he had a mansion in the Philippines. I had nothing to do with that. I still don't know why he said that. But my DJ is from the Philippines. I don't know. But I listened, and I said, "Yo, holy moly guacamole." Right? So I was downstairs. I remember this to the T. I was at the Kent Hotel. And I was downstairs at the Kent Hotel, and this girl came up to me. She was like, "Hey, how you doing?" But I was like, "Hi," and she made me feel cute. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm cute." And then she said, "You want a party?" And I said, "Oh, what?" That's like you know, pay.
Yeah.
I said, "I gotta relax." And I went upstairs and I listened to it again, and I wrote the whole rhyme. And the truth about that story is, the what was always how I counted bars. I counted bars. What, 1, what, 2, what, 3. So if you remember, I start the verse, I light a candle, run laps around the English Channel, and Neptunes, I got a cocker spaniel. We on the run, you know it ain't no fun now. Back then, you couldn't really punch in. So I laid that whole song in like one take. So when I got out of the booth, I was like, "Yo, Pharrell." Well, he wasn't even Pharrell. He was just like P. So I was like, "Yo, all we got to do is come up with the hook." He said, "Yo, didn't you just order some Jamaican food?" I think I ordered Jamaican food. In my mind, it was Jamaican food. I don't know what it was in real life. So I went upstairs. I ate. And then I came down. And he said, "I'm almost done with the mix." And I said, "Done with what mix? We got to come up with a hook." And he said, "We got it." And then he played it. He took out the ones because I was going what, 1, what, 2, what. So all he did was take out the numbers. And I'm listening to it, and then he's going, the hook is what. And I'm like, no, that's how I count bars.
Yeah.
That's not the hook. I said, "The people are gonna laugh at me." And he said, "They're gonna laugh at you all the way to the bank." And he was correct.
Yeah.
Wait, so did you really wait until you got to Miami to listen to it though?
Yeah, I did. I actually did. I don't know why. I kid you not. It's producers I have a certain quality with a person that when you tell me something, I just listen to you. And that's what I did. And he was absolutely correct, because had I heard that in New York City, I wouldn't have wrote what I wrote.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I like, you hate the law, nigga, break it. I don't care. And when you get caught, remember, I can't write that in New York. I had to write that in Miami, because I would invite people, come with me. But if you hate the law and you break it, I don't care. When you get caught,
Yeah.
remember, I didn't care. You can only write that in the Kent Hotel in Miami. I'm just saying. But what a wonderful year! Because let me answer your question. The N.O.R.E. album. I remember going to Trackmaster Tone and saying, I wanna what was the joint that Nas had with Lauryn Hill?
If I Rule the World.
Or which one?
No, yeah. I was like, I wanna If I Rule the World. Trackmasters was saying, never. We're never gonna give you that type of record.
They had did the one I think he did with Mary too.
And
a couple of those.
You know what Trackmasters told me? Trackmasters said Nas is the king of the hood.
Okay.
And we get blamed for making him commercial. Right now, you're the prince of the hood.
We ain't doing
that. So they would never give me no crossover record. Pharrell would never give me a crossover record. If you think about Super Thug, if you didn't see the video in Vegas, the daytime, you would think that record is a dark record.
Yeah.
But we fooled you because we did it in the daytime. But N.O.R.E., just going back because I'm long-winded, I'm so sorry. But that's the best time of my life.
Man.
I took a risk on myself, and I said, I'm going to bet on me. Like, that was me being cocky, making Capone the executive producer, because he was in jail. Everybody knows he couldn't executive produce nothing. That's my brother.
Of course, but at that moment...
But I was showing off. I was showing off. I was like, look, Capone's going to be the executive producer. He's in jail.
Damn.
So I wanted to show the industry that I could stand on my own. And I actually did. I got $1 million budget. I did everything at the industry standards, but I had to go and make that on my own. And fortunately enough, like I needed Busta Rhymes on the record. I went to the studio that night. He happened to be working right next door to me.
Classic. Wow.
Like nothing was forced. I needed Nas. Nas was in. If you listen to N.O.R.E. album, Nas is on I Love My Life. He's on Storm Braun. What was the fire call? I don't even know what this record
Body
is.
in the Trunk.
No, he's on Body in the Trunk. I was getting to that, but you got N.O.R.E. list up.
Right.
What's the name? LES performed. What is it? The Story.
Yeah.
It's called.
The Story.
The Story.
Yeah.
Listen to that record. Nas is on the ad-libs throughout the whole record.
Shit. Okay.
Like he was just literally just around, and that's the thing is nothing was forced. So now, if you say music sucks now, you know why music sucks? Because emails. No, it's emails.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't.
There's no real collaborations.
I couldn't do a record with Nas if he wasn't in the studio with me.
Yeah.
I couldn't do a record with Busta Rhymes if he wasn't in the studio with me.
Right.
Band from TV would have never came together unless we were all there.
Okay, wait. Let's start.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
So
Stop
everybody's
right there.
in the studio at the same time.
No, not for Band from TV.
Oh, okay.
But at least you were in sessions.
I was in the session for every artist.
With
What
every
happened was I wanted to pay nature back because this is part of the story.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
man.
like that's.
That was
Man
hardcore.
above, just like-
That was Jesus telling
Yeah.
me keep going.
Keep talking.
All right. So, actually, when I did I'm Leaving, that was Nature's session. Yes.
Every time
Thank
that
you,
happens,
God.
It's true.
It was Nature's session. So Nature could have said, yo, why is this guy in my session?
Right.
Why? And he didn't. He held it down. Mind you, I did 4 records that night. Any beat they put up, I was just murdered. I was starving, bro. I came out here with like $60. This is real. Fat burger, and that's it. That's it.
It's on the way, actually.
That's it.
Postmated,
No,
so.
I don't even think Fat Burger was popping at this time. What was I eating?
Wait, what year was this?
This is 96.
Okay.
So I don't even think Fat Burger was popping. I forget what it was. It was some other shit. And we got that, and that was it. So I wanted to pay Nature back by him not hating. So I put him on Banned from TV, which it wasn't Banned from TV at the time. At the time, Swiss didn't even do Stop, Drop. He didn't even do that. Wow. It just, we met D from Rough Riders, and D was just the coolest guy in the world to us, but we knew he was a gangster. Mm-hmm. So we was like, yo, send your nephew down. And I remember calling Jada Kiss and saying, yo, I got a record that I want you on. He said, who did the beat? And I said, Swiss. And he said, who the fuck is Swiss? And I said, he's from your camp. And he goes, D's nephew, he didn't even call him Swiss. So my point of bringing this all up was everything at that moment was there for the right time. It was for the right purpose of me trying to stand and be an executive and be an artist, and just everything was there at my disposal. I never emailed nobody no records. We did it all together. So I paid Nature back. Nature laid the verse. And then Pun just came through to hang out with me. And I forget what I did. I went downstairs to get a Gray's papaya or some shit. And I come back upstairs and Pun laid his verse. So I was like, mind you, the engineer's scared to death of Pun. Pun is just this intimidating guy. He's breathing hard. And so I told the engineer, I said, yo, what the fuck? Why you let him do that? And he looked at me like, are you serious?
What am I going to tell him?
And then Pun goes to me, what you gonna do? You gonna erase it? I said, yes. I'm gonna erase that shit. As soon as you leave here, you erase. You're not getting on this. This is. And then who comes next after Banned from TV after Pun? Cameron.
Cam.
And then Cam just comes through. Boom. And then Cam, I go to take a shit or something. And then Cam just lays this verse. And then I call the Locks. I say, and then they all call me every day. Well, what are you gonna do for the hook? I said, I'm gonna think of something. And I just let it. And that's one of the best collab. One of the best. Not because it's my record.
Of all time.
Of all times. And it has absolutely no hook whatsoever.
Real MCs though, man.
Okay, so
Some real MC shit.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any other favorite collab songs like that come to mind?
Not right now.
Okay. right.
Not right now, but we keep talking. I might come up with something.
How about duo groups? Any others? Because what CNN is to hip hop is unmatchable, bro. But as a fan of the art,
Shout out to the homie Smooth, by the way, because every time
he gets in the car, he plays.
yeah,
CNN.
he's all about. He's a dude from New York who
Right.
lives out here now, and he's always like, "Yo, CNN is the best group of all time."
Yeah.
You know, he's
Aw, let's have an aw moment. Aw.
Fact.
Well, well, you know, me and Capone, I think the reason why our chemistry works is Capone is the exact opposite of me. He's so smooth. His socks match his wife beater. Like he doesn't get up. Like today, like I'm on some Capone shit today. You see, I'm a red shirt.
Matching.
Man, like I'm Puerto Rican. We don't match. That's not a part of our culture. Like we just get dressed and go.
yeah.
Right? And Capone is the exact opposite. And our chemistry was, he was the laid back guy, I was the hyper guy. So that would always work. Now, if you talk about a legendary session, it would have to be LA.
Yeah.
Because we was just in the session, Mobb Deep was there, Tragedy was there. And we didn't know if we got this, so we just said, let's just respond. But let's not say something. And we were all there.
Yeah.
So that would be another legendary moment in time. Another legendary moment would be when I recorded I Love My Life. And I went in there and I said, I grew up like the regular thugs, sold drugs, or whatever. And then Nas came and said, let me sing that hook. And Nas is the original. I love my life.
Yeah.
Sold drugs, my life. Carl Thomas came in and re-sung that.
Wow.
But that was Nas, because I told Nas, remember he had sung on some record, on an AZ record, and I was like,
yeah, man.
yeah. And I was like, yo, can you sing on my record? He was like, I'm not a singer. I was like, just for me. And he actually did it. But then Sony said, no, you don't have enough money. You got Nas for one album. So if you really listen to N.O.R.E. album, Nas ad-libs is still on I Love My Life. He's on The Story. He's on Body in the Trunk. So that's three different, because he was just around and he just was hanging out. And It was probably the best thing. Him and Jungle, I owed him so much, love in my life. That's why me doing my new single deal, Uno Mas, with Pharrell, it's on Mass Appeal. And that's my way of just showing them love back.
Right.
That I really appreciated what you guys did in the beginning. But you didn't have to do it. They was already rich, and they did do it. So I wanted to come back, and we formed a dope little collaboration with 50/50 partners, and I couldn't be more happier. You know what I'm saying? So big up Peter at Mass Appeal. Big up Jeff. Who else at Mass Appeal? Ali. Roberta. Yeah.
Dope, man.
Yeah, so big them up.
And that's things coming back full circle to you, because I just saw a clip where 50 Cent was doing an interview.
Yeah.
And 50 was bigging you up, saying that you was one of the first dudes to jump on a track with him.
I feel like we should clap for that. I just feel like we should clap for that.
Well, he said the same thing. He said N.O.R.E didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Well, 50 was an interesting guy from the beginning. Just from the beginning, he was just interesting. Like he was different, and nobody wanted to fuck with him. Nobody did.
Because of the tension of the records, or
I have no idea. This is before How to Rob. I worked with him.
This is like Thug Love. And
This is early 50 Cent. This is early 50 Cent, and he asked me to get on the record. I did 2 records for him actually, and I just always want to be that guy. Like, I always want to be that guy that's first on something.
Yeah.
Like, I worked with Lil Wayne first. Like, if you could check Melvin Flint album, I don't know if you guys know, I'm an old guy. But 1999, I had Lil Wayne on the album. I had Turk. I had, Baby on the album. I had that in 1999. Like, I always want to be first or something. Like, and I just seen the same thing with 50. When 50 hit me, I was like, I got you. And he was like, for real? Like, that's what, like, he was
I just asked.
he was like, I was like, I got you. And it was crazy, because when I asked him to do Drink Champs, it was the same exact thing. I said, I need you to do Drink Champs. He said, tomorrow, 7 o'clock. I was like, oh, word? Like, I had a whole speech to give him. I was like, I was going to tell him, you remember? Like, and he was like, no problem, tomorrow, 7 o'clock. He's the first artist that gave me a time. Like, and I actually made his time. I went... I usually give you the time. Yeah, like I give you the time. I give you the location. He gave me the time. I was like, oh, all right. No arguments. And he came on. He got drunk. And I just love to be that guy. I love to be the person that treats the janitor like the president. Mm-hmm. Because eventually the janitor can be the president. So that's why I survived. That's why people love N.O.R.E. That's why Drink Champs is a success.
Yeah.
It's because I just show love to everybody. I don't want to show you love because you hot. I don't want to not show you love because you're not hot. I'm going to treat you the same way every single time. I try to. Sometimes I'm going to be drunk. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Forgive me. But for the most part, I'm going to try to treat everybody with the utmost respect. My father, God bless the dead, he used to always tell me, see what you like in a person before you comment on what you don't. So I always look at things in a positive way.
Yeah.
This beautiful female just downstairs. She came downstairs. She came and got us, right?
Right.
So I look at it positively, right? But now let's suppose I was a negative person. We could have been like, keep the door open. Make sure it's secure. Make sure No, she did her job.
Right.
She came downstairs. She said, you guys are here? Yes, we're here for Justin. Yes. And she did her job. It's all positivity. But there's some rappers that they just so Hollywood, and they want to have, I don't want anything perfect. I just want to have a great, awesome time.
Yeah.
And I want to reflect that on hip-hop, and I feel like anybody who dedicates their life to hip-hop, I want to help them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That's why we forming the hip-hop unity, the hip-hop like insurance. Mm-hmm. We want to get it. We teaming up with SAG, who already has it for the Actors Guild and things like that. But I don't want you to get sick and they have to lean on your family. Yeah. It's just not fair to your family, because you missed your mother's birthday because you was DJing somewhere.
Yeah, that's facts. For real.
You missed your wife's party because you had to DJ somewhere. You had to be at the radio station.
Right.
And you missed some important parts of your life. If something ever happens to you, why shouldn't we be the first people to be there for you?
Man.
I'm deep. I'm so sorry.
Good.
I'm deep.
Yeah, cause I don't want to get too deep.
No,
but
I respect it. We appreciate it.
I had thought about it the other day. It's like I forget what legendary MC got sick, and then everybody was like, a GoFundMe. Like that's below us. Why we gotta get a GoFundMe when we got Jay-Z, who, if I come to him and present him this right deal, he'll say, "Here, take $1 million," and we be quiet, N.O.R.E. Don't tell nobody I gave you $1 million. And it's cool. I don't need the $1 million. I'm gonna leave it in this trust fund or leave it somewhere where we can actually be there for people in our community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I say our community, that has nothing to do with race. That has nothing to do with color.
The
Has nothing. Hip hop community.
Right.
You dedicated your life to this. I want to be there for the people like that. It's beyond me. I realize that I can sustain. I can maintain. But what about the people who came out in 1997, the same year I came out, and wasn't as lucky as me or wasn't hustling? They hustled the same as me. They just didn't. It didn't work. Sometimes you could hustle. Me and you could do the same exact hustle. You could sell oranges. I could sell oranges. It's just so happened they like your glasses more than mine. So they buy more oranges from you. Doesn't mean I didn't try the same way as you. I was out there 6 a.m. to 6 o'clock at night, just like you.
Yeah.
But your glasses got you over. Doesn't mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now 20 years later, just because you was more successful doesn't mean that the orange community can't come and help us. The people who grow oranges, we was helping moving your product on the highway. We risked our life.
You're a legend, bro.
We risked our life to sell these oranges, and you making Tropicana. Can you help our community? I'm sorry, this is hip hop.
Yeah.
Look at Tropicana like it's hip hop.
Okay.
Hip hop, we should do that. We should take care of our own. Russell Simmons, Jay-Z, Puff Daddies, the 50 Cents, the Nas's. We should all come together and just say we're gonna take care of our community. It doesn't matter who it is. If you dedicated your life, I'm not talking about the hip hop guys who just bought a Serato and now they're a DJ, because I could do that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make me a DJ.
Right.
But I'm talking about the people whose blood, sweat, and tears, they got 10 years in this game. We got to take care of them.
That's real talk.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
talk.
I got deep.
No, that's
I'm not,
good.
I'm going to try not to get deep no more.
Yeah.
Pause.
No. Yeah.
Pause? That was a pause?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
we're in LA, so we do it. We pause just
Slight.
I guess just in case, like we don't really know what the fuck's going on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're not sure if we're using it right. Sometimes it's a lot.